guys, Rory Willicombe here. Hope you guys all having a fantastic day. So in today's YouTube video, I'm using Doucette's latest YouTube video on basically how to pose like a pro bodybuilder for today's YouTube video. I'm completely a novice bodybuilder. I've only been doing this for about 11 months seriously at the gym. This is what I looked like roughly 10 months ago, and this is what I look like right now in my current condition. Just want to say a big thank you to Coach Greg for bringing out this YouTube video. It absolutely helped me a ton. I'm sure it helped out many others as well. If you guys want to check out that YouTube video, it'll be down in the description down below. Feel free to check it out and drop him a subscribe as well. Talking about subscribers, feel free to hit that subscribe button today, as well as the post notification bell, because I'm currently chasing 1,000 subscribers, as I've got about 50% of you who are watching who are not subscribed. And while you're at it, guys, drop the like button today and comment down below what you guys think about my posing as well as my current condition. Bear in mind, this is my very first time posing, so hopefully I've done an okay job, but I will be doing a critical analysis of my posing performance within this YouTube video as well. With all that being said, guys, let's get straight on with the YouTube video.
Okay, so let's first start off with the front relaxed pose from the front. So the first thing you want to see is you want to see his heels come a bit closer than that together. Toes are always pointing out about 45 degrees, knees slightly bent. By doing that, it allows you to show more width in the quads. Okay, so we're trying to get this to be wider. His stomach is sucked in so that his waist looks smaller, and the lats are spread out wide and the delts are up. Great starting pose.
Okay, so this is my attempt at this pose. This is probably my first time ever doing this pose, and quite frankly, I feel like I've done quite a good job. Pretty much did everything he mentioned. So, you know, legs roughly shoulder width apart, and then my heels are fairly close together at 45 degrees angle. So then we kind of get those quads kind of sticking out a little bit more. We've got the lats out as well. The lats are looking pretty good, with the going in nice and tapered in with a V. Arms are looking pretty good. My shoulders are nice and up, showing off the delts. Probably the only criticism I could probably give myself within this is maybe I could probably suck in a little bit more, maybe tense my abs. Again, there's still a lot more development I need to do in terms of my bodybuilding. You know, grow my legs a little bit more, my pectorials as well. And yeah, I mean, basically everything I need to start growing more. You know, I've only been doing this for about 10 to 11 months now. I feel like my lats are looking pretty good, nicely spread, with that tapered.
Next up, we're going to be doing the back relaxed pose. So it's basically the same thing except in reverse. This time, we're trying to demonstrate some conditioning in here. A lot of times I see people showing poses and they're completely relaxing the hamstrings. So what you want to do here, your heels need to come quite a bit closer together. And to show the calf muscle, you want the heels to be couple millimeters off the ground, so slightly elevated, not that much, just enough to engage the calf muscle. So you can see some striations coming up through here. So right now he's tensing the hamstrings now, so you can see some of the development showing through. Glutes are squeezed and the lats are spread wide, so he wants to come out like that. His delts are higher up, and you can see some of the conditioning in the back lats.
So as you guys can see right now in my physique, you know, this is when what I mean with my body fat percentage. You know, I'm in my off season, so you know that definition in my back's not going to be quite there, as well as my hamstring. Unfortunately, with the camera angle, you can't see my my calf. However, later on in the video, you will be able to see my calf, so don't you worry about that. Again, looking pretty good. Lats looking pretty solid as well, nice and wide. Again, around my hips, you can see there's a little bit more fat around there, but obviously as I cut, that should hopefully narrow in and should taper up a little bit more nicely. As you guys know, I am bulking over summer as well as over winter. I might bulk again over the next summer again. Potentially, depends on how happy I am with my current state of my body. As you guys can see, not too bad. Arms looking pretty good. Shoulders looking well developed as well. Lats are looking good. But again, it's just that extra bit of fat percentage I've got on my body that you can't really get that definition out, but you can slightly see it a little bit in the back.
Okay, so we're going to do a front double bicep pose, and we're going to demonstrate in more than one way. Instead of standing like this, he wants to put one foot out to the side and place most of his weight on the front toe, big toe. Push out to the side. That allows you to show the width of the leg. So if you have larger hamstrings here and the quad out that way, it's going to make it look that much wider than if you stood like this. So you're trying to, rather than stand like that, turn it out to the side. Then you can do the front double bicep in this sense. You can suck in your stomach to look as big as you can, or you can blow out all of your air to show your abs. So that's the two options. The elbows up slightly. We want the bicep right here to be slightly higher than the deltoid, so even a little bit more. That allows you to have more of the V taper. We're looking for the lats to come in to give him that small waist.
Okay, so this is my attempt at this pose. Possibly my legs are looking potentially a little bit too wide, maybe. It's hard to get these poses right when you're literally just trying to copy it from a YouTube video and then you're just trying to like mimic it as well from the other geezer. Obviously, these poses will be easier if I had Coach Greg with me in person to tell me what I need changing in real time rather than trying to like revert to the YouTube video and trying to do it myself. Fortunately, I didn't have a mirror, so I was kind of like relying on my camera on the flip screen to try and like tell if I'm doing everything right. It wasn't really the right facility just in my bedroom just doing this. But overall, looking not too bad. I've got the biceps above the deltoids, spreading my lats as much as I can, which gives me that tapered look. Sucking in as much as I can, but I'll tell you what now, it's really, really hard to tense your whole body, like your legs, your arms, and then trying to suck in and trying to keep that waist looking nice and small and tapered down. The legs looking all right. Potentially could move my, I believe that was my left leg onto the side. Maybe I could possibly move it a little bit more to the side so you get a little bit more definition in the hamstrings, see a bit more of the leg. And obviously, if I was a little bit more conditioned, less body fat percentage, you'll see a lot more defined muscle within there as well. But overall, looking pretty good. I feel like this is one of my stronger poses at the moment.
And next up, we're going to switch over to the back double bicep. So basically, it's the same pose, except he has to turn around. This time, you're putting one foot back as such. He's flexing the calves first. The hamstrings are tense. And what's most difficult to do is to actually remember to flex this side and that side at the same time. It takes a lot of practice. If you've never done this before, trust me, it's hard. And when I first did my first few shows, didn't know you had to flex the hamstrings. I literally was flexing my quads during this pose. I looked ridiculous. I was flexing the quads while I was working, but I didn't know how to do it. It was my first show. Didn't have the practice, the coaching that I needed. It's good. We can get these elbows up just a bit. There we go. He's leaning back slightly because the judges, they're going to be down here looking up. The further that the waist is from the judges and the closer the back, it actually creates an illusion that your back is bigger and your waist is smaller. So when you lean backwards, your waist is further away from the judge's eye. It's going to make the waist appear smaller and the back appear larger. That pose looks quite good. You can tense a little bit more here. Slightly bigger bend of the knee. There it is. Yeah, just like that.
Okay, so at this point, man, I've been doing so many poses. I was sweating so hard, man. It's actually so straining on you. It is really hard work. And I understand why, you know, like Anthony Martello and other like bodybuilders say it's really hard to pose after your post-workout because it's so tiring. And this is me on the rest day, having worked out and me posing. It is really, really tiring. So I understand where they come from, especially after a post-workout. Here we go. We've actually got a footage of our calf. So again, you can see our calf pretty well, quite defined, looking pretty good. Again, unfortunately, just because our body fat percentage and probably need to train our hamstrings a little bit more, it's hard to get that definition coming through. Needed to squeeze my glutes in this one, but unfortunately, this didn't do it. It's hard to contract everything within this pose. Shoulders looking good. As mentioned earlier, we've got the biceps above the deltoids. Biceps are looking all right. We're getting out a little bit of a tapered, but again, reducing that body fat when we do cut in the future will help bring that taper down to the waist. But guys, if I need to improve on anything, feel free to comment down below.
Up next, we're going to do the front lat spread pose. Knee heels in a little bit closer together. Yes. And chest is up. Yeah, and you can push a little bit in the waist so that it brings in the waist smaller. You're actually pressing inwards on the side of the stomach to make your waist smaller.
So this is like my first time ever doing this pose. Same with a lot of other these poses within this YouTube video. Found this one quite a difficult one to try and suck in while I was trying to hold my fingers, you know, around my back, trying to make my waist nice and thin. Quads are looking all right, not too bad. But again, everything within my body right now does need to grow and it will look way better. Delts looking nice and high, looking good. Same with the arms. Lat spread looking pretty good. But yeah, Just need to get a little bit more definition in my pectoral. So that's, again, the working point within my my bodybuilding. So, you know, it's everything I need to work on. But, you know, pectorials do need to be a little bit more worked on underneath to get that a little bit more definition. And obviously just practicing sucking in and vacuuming, basically.
We're flipping over to a back lat spread. It's basically the same pose except from the rear. So turn around. Flexing the calves and the hamstrings from the ground up. Lats are spread. The waist is further away. He's leaning backwards. The shoulders are closer to the back of the waist to make the waist look smaller. The lats look bigger. And that's a good pose.
Okay, so this is my attempt. Very sweaty back. And I tell you now, I feel like I've done a really good job on this one because I feel like I got that lat spread really well, leaning back. So that helps with that illusion that my back is wider than it actually is. Bringing the fingers in, making my my waist look way more narrower, so you get that more tapered look. Shoulders looking good, nice and high. Arms looking all right. Need to work on the lower half a little bit again. Work on the hamstrings a little bit more. Obviously, body fat percentage doesn't help. I feel like maybe you need to like tense the glutes a little bit more, so the glutes might help activate other activations in the hamstring as well doing this pose.
Let us do a thigh and abdominal pose. Okay, this one, it's crucial to flex the quads and the abs hard. A lot of people do this wrong. So many people, they will lean back and do the rock away. They literally will stand back like this to do their abs, thinking it's gonna show their abs better. Doesn't. You need to lean, in fact, forward. Your chest should be closer to the judges to bring your upper body closer, makes it look bigger. The waist a little bit further back. So you're literally leaning forward slightly. Waist looks smaller, chest looks bigger. First of all, you need to flex the quad. So we got 2 ways to do this. Let's see how he does. Okay, that's basically a standard relaxed one.
So this is my attempt at this right now. I've done this pose a couple times, you know, in the past, but I don't really practice my poses at all, apart from the 2 at the end. I do it sometimes in my YouTube videos. If you guys have been subscribed for a little while, I just need to try and maybe bring my arms together a little bit more closer towards the neck and head region. So you get that a little bit more flexion in the bicep. Again, I might need to lean forward a little bit more just to activate the core. Legs are looking all right. Again, just need to grow those a little bit more so we get a little bit more growth, and obviously body fat percentage. We can lower that down, we get a little bit more definition within everything and get the abs showing.
Now let's see with 1 foot forward doing a thigh and abdominals. And from this, I would then suggest to actually straighten the leg down. Yes, exactly. And try to turn this more, turn it down and twist it into the front. Yes. And as he gets leaner, he probably would notice striations going to the side, as in sideway cross striations to show just how lean he is.
Okay, so this is my attempt. So exactly the same pose, this time extending the leg forward. Again, I feel like in this pose, it's a little bit harder to engage that core, as you guys can tell from the previous clip. We had like the top 2 abs a little bit more showing, whereas this one we haven't really got showing. My arms, again, need to be a little bit more closer towards my head, I feel like. And maybe with my left leg that is sticking out, possibly have that a little bit more forward. There's a guy who's doing the demonstration in the video, his leg was a little bit further than what mine is. But again, it's hard to try and do all these movements and contract at the same time.
Up next, we're getting into the side chest pose. Okay, so this is the first time that the judges can really see how is your body looking from the side. You've seen the front and the back. This is a side pose. So you can see the calf muscles. You can see a lot of things differently on these side poses. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to get the calf muscle being flexed higher. So let's get, you see the difference that we're seeing here. As soon as he raises his heel off the ground, you can see so many more striations appear. Good. Now, we want this leg touching this leg, literally together. Okay, so he's going to be squeezing this leg into this leg so that you can see the hamstring get pushed out. So this actual back of the leg pushing on the hamstring to make it a bulge out. We want to make sure that this chest is in front of that one. So we want to twist over. We want to look bigger. As you twist, the further you twist over, the judges can see more. They can see your chest, they can see your abdominals and everything like that at the same time as they can see your legs on the side. If you were to stand straight on like this, you don't see anything. You can't see what's happening. You don't see the abdominals. So you twist over and you can show the front. I would try to keep your chest higher up, more elevated. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a bit more like how Chris Bumstead, classic physique Olympia, would be posing that.
Okay, so this is my attempt at this side pose. And this is the result of this pose. So this is my side on pose right now. Looking all right, not too bad. Potentially might need to elevate my chest a little bit more, so have it a little bit more higher up, as mentioned by Greg Doucette, just at that ending. Didn't kind of incorporate that. Shoulders are looking pretty good, chest looking all right, but again, just need to try and improve every single aspect of my body, because again, it's bodybuilding. You want to build every single muscle in your body, because that's the whole point of bodybuilding. You want to build muscles that are, you know, not really that visible when you're at a higher fat percentage, but when you're at a lower fat percentage, obviously you need these muscles showing. Sucking a little bit more in my waist, so it makes it look a little bit more narrow. The outside leg, which you're seeing right now, needs to be a little bit more bent, potentially with the leg a little bit higher up, so the toe is pointing down, which will maybe cause the actual leg itself to be a little bit more contracted, so you'll be able to see the definition within the leg. Once you've got this pose done, we're rotating our torso to whoever is in front of us, so like the judges, so they can actually see everything from the shoulders, the arms, the legs, as well as the chest.
We're moving on to the side tricep pose. The bottom portion is exactly to a T the same, and for this one, you are going to need to blow out every single ounce of air, which makes the pose hard to maintain, because the more air you blow out, the smaller the waist gets and brings out the obliques, the abdominals. So as he gets leaner, he will see more and more definition. You will see a lot more lines on the side like this. You can twist a little bit more, and you can literally hold this pose and then twist over as you're doing it while you're posing, so that all the different judges can see you, because there's judges over there and there's some over there. They don't really see your tricep. The judge over there is only looking at your chest. So you want to be able to switch over and twist so that all the judges get a chance to see your physique.
Okay, so this is my attempt at this pose. So we've got that tricep on show, and then we're slowly rotating. Imagine that we've got the judges in front of us. What I should have done a little bit more is maybe exhale a little bit more air and trying to suck in my core a little bit more to make my waist a little bit more narrower. Then again, we have got quite a bit of fat on our stomach just because of our bulk at the moment. So it's quite hard to get that definition coming through. Again, this is during a rest day. I haven't been to the gym, so the muscles are not going to be pumped at all. So the definition is not going to come in as much. As well as the lighting. You know, the light is not too bad in my room, but the lighting could always be better for this type of pose and get that definition coming on. Again, looking all right, not too bad. So the things that we need to improve within this pose is the legs need to be closer together. As mentioned before, it helps to bring out the legs a little bit more, the definition. We need to suck in a little bit more. We need to exhale all the air as much as we can, so we can make our waist and stomach a little bit more smaller, so it looks more narrower.
All right, up next, we are going to end it with the most muscular pose. There's so many different ways to do it. So, all right, let's see a crab most muscular. This is where you grab both hands in front and get the traps out, leaning forward.
I feel like this is one of the stronger points that I can do, just because I got naturally decent traps. As you guys can see, they're quite big, and obviously you can see like the definition of the chest contracting and the bicep. Because of the shadows and the lighting, it's hard to get that definition coming in through the leg, so it's quite hard. But also when you're leaning over like that, it's quite hard to tense the quads within this pose.
And our third option would be a hands on hips most muscular, where you can put both hands flex in together. He's not squeezing forward like this. The chest is straight up here, so you can show the striations. And as you get leaner, it's a great pose to show all the definition, the biceps and the delts.
This is actually my first time ever posing like this, and I feel like this is probably a really strong point, because I feel like pretty decent shoulders. You know, you can see them, they're kind of like 3D, they bulge out a little bit. You know, the biceps are affected as well. You're getting that the core coming through, so you can see the abdominals, and then obviously the stretching of the pectorals. So you can see these lines coming out. Within this, I do need to work on my upper chest a little bit, so it looks like my chest is sticking out a little bit more. And obviously we need to try and incorporate some sort of tense and contraction of the quads at the bottom, as I kind of didn't really manage to get that going at all during this pose. Overall, looking pretty good. and having a little bit of rotation in there as well, just so that all the judges that say are looking at me.
Okay, we're gonna actually try a vacuum pose now with a kind of a classic physique hand position. So to do the vacuum, you need to blow out every ounce of air that you can. Once it's completely gone, you then literally suck in your stomach as much as you can. It feels like you're going to pass out. Sometimes your eyes feel like they're gonna blow up. It's an uncomfortable feeling. So as you first practice, you might only be able to hold it for 1 or 2 seconds, like a bow and arrow pose for that. I know you can't hold it for more than a few seconds, but let's see. And you want this to line up so it looks straight across like that. That's actually a really good pose here.
Okay, so this is pretty much my first time ever doing this type of pose. As you can see, we've got a lot of areas to improve on. We actually are activating our quads okay in this one. We do need to work on our vacuum again, something that I haven't really practiced on. I know when I was younger, a load of kids used to suck in all the time and show off their rib cage. I had a few friends that used to do it all the time, but I never really did it when I was a kid, and I've never really done it, so I haven't really trained my muscles. Another aspect that needs to be worked on is our vacuum. This is the best I could possibly suck in as much as I can whilst holding this pose. So again, we just need to train ourselves to vacuum. So it's something that I need to incorporate within my daily routines. Again, we are at a higher body fat percentage, so that doesn't help as well. Also within this pose, my my left arm is a little bit too high, going up really high. Maybe need to go a little bit more across the body. Again, I didn't have the mirror there, and also I'm just trying to look at myself as well, so it's quite hard when you haven't got a coach there to try and like rearrange your body. It's kind of hard to do it by yourself. Again, the flexion of my right arm with my bicep could be a little bit lower, so the elbow could be a little bit lower, and then obviously the left arm can just be a little bit lower as well, so we get that a little bit more of that symmetrical look. Overall, looking pretty decent. Just a few changes that needs to be done there. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of the YouTube video. That is my current body physique, as well as taking some tips from Greg Doucette on how to pose like a pro bodybuilder. If you guys haven't heard of Greg Doucette before, you must be living underneath a rock. And be sure to go check him out. It'll be first link in the description down below. Hit the link, hit the subscribe button. I'm sure you'll learn plenty from him. He's an absolute class YouTuber. Again, guys, if you learned something and you enjoyed this YouTube video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because we're currently chasing 1,000 subscribers, and turn that post notification bell on also, so you stay up to date with all new videos from me. And on that note, guys, I'll see you guys for another video from me. Peace out.